Good practice today. Good practice. Got a lot of things done, lots of situations. Played with more intelligence, played with more consistency, more toughness, and execution on both sides of the ball was better. And guys made plays on both sides of the ball, not because the other side busted or did something bad, because it was a good football play. And that's a really good sign that you're getting better. Questions?
Jalen's status, I saw he was
fine. He tweaked an ankle. Not bad at all. If he had to play a game today, he could. But I want to make sure it's healthy for a couple of days and let some of those younger guys work.
What about Northrop?
Just rest. That's typical what we have planned. He's going to go 1 or 2 hard days and he's going to rest today. That's typical for what we're doing with his knee right now.
I know Pender was there, but he was limited. Anything with that?
Quad. Now he's got a quad twos, and any day now he'd be ready to go. Just trying to get his burst back, so he should be ready to come. Oh, it could be tomorrow. It could be the next day. Whatever.
You see more of a benefit of naming a quarterback and then him having maybe the control of the locker room, or maybe having some secrecy going into a game where the opponent doesn't know?
I don't believe in no secret. We'll name a quarterback when one's ready, when we got one.
You don't think there's too much of an advantage for the other team when didn't know?
That's a lot more for you media guys.
I'm asking you. I don't know.
No, I don't, and I'm being serious. I mean, I don't. Hey, when you're good and you get the right guy, and that guy's won the job, then you name him. And if it was today, tomorrow,
doesn't matter if the other team knows.
They're going to figure it out when he gets out there.
Would you like to have that done by early next week just because camp's over?
Really, camp isn't really over. It's over, but it didn't know. We still got another week in there. You know what I'm saying? But we'll know when we know. I'm not putting a timetable on it. I'll know when I know.
Is that something you've had success with in other quarterback situations, not rushing it? I mean, what are some common denominators, I guess? Of
consistency, how they affect other guys on the team. I mean, Pat Nix, Stan White. Then I had Pat Nix, Damon Craig. Then I had Josh Booty, Craig Nall, Rohan Davey. Then I had Matt Mock, Marcus Randall. Then I had Marcus Randall, Jamarcus Russell. Then Jamarcus Russell, Matt Flynn. Right? Yeah. I mean, so then here we had Drew and Xavier. Then we had Ponder and Drew. Then we had Jamison, Coker. So I mean, it's part of the business.
Since you mentioned camp isn't really over on Saturday, how much significance will Saturday scrimmage have then if you're still going to have maybe another extra week of camp after that? I
think it's really significant. Anytime you get to walk in that stadium and play in a scrimmage type situation like that, I think it'll have significant bearing. I really do. But we'll have to, if it's significant bearing in a good way, but it could be in a bad way, or see if they separate from each other. I don't know. I mean, that's going to be the whole thing.
Not even just that quarterback, just for
all of them.
Any
well,
position.
I think it's going to be huge. I really do. Because getting our young guys in that stadium, some again for the first time as a starter. So you haven't been in there, but last week they were there for the first time as a starter. So that makes a difference, just like the games will. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle it the second time through.
What do you do in a second scrimmage maybe it's different than the first?
Few more situations. Every penalty will count. You may be actually looking more game type situation stuff, how you play, how you call, doing things instead of really trying to identify certain players in that first one. You know what I mean? Or try to work guys, and they've had that toughness now for 2 weeks and make it more game type, true orientation of how we do it.
Speaking of young guys, Minshew and Eberle were taking first-team reps. What have you seen from them throughout camp that's allowed them to progress to that point?
Well, he had Martinez in there. Now Eberle's back in there. We're just rotating them and getting the mix and saying. And then once you get up there, all right, some guys when they get up there, all right, 2 or 3 days, and then all of a sudden, they falter. You know what I mean? Just trying to find the consistency in those guys and putting them in different situations, see how they handle the mental capacity, not just only of playing ball, but being with that group, being with the ones, how to handle that pressure. You know what I'm saying? Because pressure is the key. You got to be able to handle pressure. And everybody wants success, but like I always tell everybody, success doesn't feel successful. Success feels stressful because the expectations go with it. And that's like being a one. So you got to learn to deal with that. So you got to give them 2 or 3 days to see how they react from that. So that's why we're moving guys around.
I think it was in the spring you were saying Maven, he's still kind of new to the game, and once he kind of gets it mentally, he could be next level type of guy. Is he starting to come along mentally? He
and Izzo are playing tremendous football. And Josh Kerr. Jeremy Kerr. I mean, he's playing physical and doing things, and those 2 tight ends are really playing their tails off. I mean, they're making plays everywhere, and yes, Maven is getting better. I mean, still has more consistency, but you're starting to see the plays.
Jimbo, this yellow brick road coming into practice, what's up with that?
Going to see the Wizard.
Going to see the Wizard.
Who's the Wizard?
We can't tell you that.
Is the Wizard from West Virginia?
I don't know where he's from. We're going to see the Wizard. We like some characteristics, and we just a little thing to lock us in, just a little thing to remind us that when we hit this practice field, there's a purpose, and what our purpose is, and what we have to attain as a person, as a player, to be able to have success.
This is your idea, or somebody came up to you and had it?
Just what it's our team idea. No, I'm not saying anything.
Are the red shoes a part of it, or that just happened to be, you know?
That's what Florida State gave me. That's what's happened. The ones they gave me.
Were you a fan of the movie?
Yeah, Wizard of Oz.
I've actually never seen it. I've only seen parts of it.
What? No, you've never seen the
Coke and Peanuts.
You've never seen the Wizard of Oz.
No.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Go watch it.
All right.
It said they don't steal Toto. When I was a little kid, I was scared the witch was going to get Toto. Take the dog.
Not the dog.
Yeah, I love him. I had a little dog look just like it.
Did you?
Yeah. No, but I loved it. I watch the Wizard of Oz still today when it comes on.
A team movie on this weekend?
It maybe will be. It's a great movie.
Nooney and Auden Tate both have the.
Yeah, one had a staph infection in the thumb. It was pretty nasty. Trying to get that cleaned out, and got it. And Nooney broke a knuckle on the finger right there. Should be 3 weeks.
All right.
And they still practiced yet the other day when he did it. And caught a bunch of balls, and they realized it was broken. So they put a pin in it, and I think they said 3 weeks. Shame, because he was really doing good. And so what Auden, he messed his thumb up.
Staph infection is a major concern because those can.
They're always a concern. We work on that stuff 24/7. I mean, keeping things clean and sanitary and all that stuff.
When you talk about Saturday scrimmage and just kind of what it means for these guys who are becoming ones, what do you think that means particularly for the guys on the defensive line and at running back?
I think it means the same. And whether you're a defensive line, running back, quarterback, tight end, I mean, you've got to perform, and there's an expectation and a responsibility to the legacy of the guy who's played before you and the type of game in which you play. Your success all depends on your talent, but the way you play, and I think that's the key thing we're trying to make sure these young guys understand. If we do that right, they are talented.
You and Rick must like what you're seeing at Cole Minshew because the fact that he is getting in there a little bit.
Oh, no doubt. And for a young guy, he's very intelligent, picks things up very well. And of course, he's very physical and gifted. He's still playing. His ankle's still not healthy, but you still, the power and the athleticism, he's going to be a heck of a football player now. One heck of a football player.
One more.
Good. Anything?
We good? Or no more?
Anybody want one? It's all right. They got one?
We'll give you a break this time.
What percent of your players do you think have seen Wizard of Oz?
They all knew.
Did they?
They all knew. They all knew. So
To answer the question.
you have to ask them, huh?
Didn't answer the question.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I would say over 90%, 90,
don't think
97%.
so.
Oh,
I'd be on the other end.
You know what the Wizard of Oz was, didn't you?
Have
watched the movie
you
before.
seen it
You ever
though?
seen Wizard of Oz? It's because he ain't seen it.
I've never watched it.
Hey, don't answer
I've never
questions
watched
from
it.
some man that don't know Wizard of Oz. That's un-American. That's un-American. You can't answer questions from a guy knowing Wizard of Oz. We're just going to see the Wizard, huh? That's all we done. We good?